It is Sunday. Why is it so?
It's cloudy and overcast, thunder and lightning.
And I've messed with her thing, and now
What?
her head's all big. And
Oh, I'll probably be back.
oh, and you were leaning back. God, this is why it's so hard.
How's that?
Hello, everyone. It's Sunday. We're gonna get into some arty pouch business here in just a moment.
Yes, we're sallying forth.
Sallying forth, and trying to figure out things. She's got some more pouchy business to show.
I do.
This is P over here.
M over there.
Patricia.
Mariah.
And together,
We are
PM Artist Studio. All right, my arty friends, do say hello in the chat so that way we can say hello back. This is how we know that you were here, and we like to know that you were here because we are a very friendly bunch. Arty and friendly.
Most of the time.
Most of the time, yeah. And usually the
It's
crankiness.
not that I'm unfriendly. I'm just a little perturbed on occasion.
Miffed.
Miffed.
Always like that word, miffed. Feeling a little miffed. All right, let's say hello to everybody. Do give those thumbsy upsies if you haven't already. It is mucho importante here in the beginning. Actually, it's mucho importante anytime that you're watching a video. If you like it, give the thumbs up. And if you really like the channel, subscribe. It's free. Nobody charges for that. That part's free. Now, if you want to join in on some other, paid things, a lot of channels have that too. We have that. Okay, I'm on live chat. That's good.
Options.
Options, and I still don't
Always
really know
options.
what's going on with your camera over there, but just gonna muddle through that business there. Yeah, you doing okay there?
I am. I'm having a bit of a tummy rumble though, because I forgot to eat breakfast.
All right. Well,
But I'll just muddle through.
Okay, we've got Anina Anthony, art curious. That's Miriam Bartender's daughter, Becky Bokern, Belinda, Betsy, Candy, Carrie, Charmaine, Cookie Wookie, that's Mo, Darcy, Eddie, Erna, Estella, Griffin Show, that's Rhonda, Isabel, Jennifer, Joni, Carla, Lee, Lori, Lydia, Marguerite, Paula, Pinka, Sophia, Sorry's here. Oh, 2 sorries. Look at that.
What?
That's awesome. Susan. Star Traveler, that's Linda. Suzanne Rivard. Texture Junkies, that's Sharon, a.k.a. Sharon. The Shelly Studio, that's Margot. And Tracy LaBeouf. There we go. That's everybody that showed up in my list. If you did not show up in the list, it was nothing personal. It's simply that you didn't show up on the list. And I will say hello if you give me those pinky hello hands.
Did you
Hi,
say
Belinda.
hello to Belinda? She pink-handed you.
I know. And she gave me 2 wavy other hands, too.
Yeah, I always look for the pink hands.
It's easy to see. Hi, Diane Olson. So glad you're here. All right, shall I move ahead and go topside?
Absolutely.
Get into the business. She's got a lot to do.
I'm ready to go.
Okay, and I'm going to just try to mess with your camera some more while I'm, doing this thing here. Who's it? What's it? All right, well, it's on you, lady.
Oh, there's SWL has a whole bunch of hands.
Hi.
And Maya has hands.
And Alice, Maya, SW, that's Sherry. Hi, Anlar. Liz Ann is here.
Susan. Did you say Susan?
Yes. We've got a couple Susans here today.
Okay.
Our Susans are representing.
Aha. Okay. So, what I have out here are things I've pulled off.
And sorry for the poopy lighting. It's very overcast here today. Quite stormy last night.
Is it not good?
It's all right. It's just, it's not the nice, 3 p.m. sunlight that we,
Oh, well.
that's different.
You have to wait for 3 p.m. if you want that to happen.
Well, and
we can't do that on Sunday. Okay, so this was
Hey, Dana.
one of the prints I pulled, but the pattern is when I was doing my stamping. Okay, you got that. I'm not sure what happened with, I don't know where that came from.
Brad and I looked at the radar last night, and I mean, it was like just this, well, it was crazy because, if you watch the radar thing move, it was sort of this green, dark green and light green outlined area with a little red speckledy and yellow in it. Then as it moved, I mean, it was like poof, red and yeah, I was like, that doesn't look good.
But we didn't get any ugly weather. I mean, we got a lot of rain, but...
It was pretty ugly.
Was it?
Ish. I mean, it was windy and clangy and...
But we didn't get hail.
Actually, there was a little bit.
Oh.
Good God. This one over here sleep.
That's what scares me, because that can...
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that can do a job. Have you checked the Norfolk? Is it still standing?
Yeah, it looked fine out there. That new pot's awesome.
Well, that new pot is has a lot more weight to it.
Stable.
Yeah.
And wider is better. Size matters.
Yeah.
Especially when you've got a top-heavy tree. And no longer is it a plant. It is a tree. I think it's officially.
Have we been looking into who can adopt it? If anybody knows...
Anyone in the Dallas-Fort Worth area that would like a Norfolk pine.
Because it's getting so we can't get it in and out the door.
And it's got to live somewhere indoors. Or in an atrium or, you know.
Something, because it's not an outdoor plant.
I wonder if the arboretum...
At least not here.
Okay.
In this zone.
Did y'all want to hear all about that? I'm sure you did.
Okay. Well, let us know if you need a tree.
Okay.
And you're willing to come tote it.
When's the art start?
Okay, here's the art starting. So, I think that this is wonderful. I think it has a lot of potential, and when I have my other prints over here and I'm thinking about collage, I mean, you know, doesn't that, they're not the same reds, but it doesn't really matter, and I'm not finished with this yet. Yet anyway, so, you know, I think these could be companion pieces. So keep that in mind. This was one of my mixing palettes.
Hey, Ricky.
Oh, you should get the lampshade.
You want me to go get the lampshade?
Well, you don't have to. I'll just scoot this stuff over here. That's so funny because Izzy last night...
that pretty much...
She brought me, can you see them?
Mm-hmm. Down in the corner over
right
there.
here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, she liked the lamp, but she didn't want the lampshade. So I gessoed it.
Well, we asked her,
Yeah.
well, would it be better if it was white? She's like, yeah. And then Gigi's like, well, I could stamp butterflies on it. And of course, she was all aboard on that.
Her sheets have butterflies on them. But I did a bang-up job on stamping that lampshade, let me tell you. It wasn't easy.
I should bring the lampshade so people could really appreciate the surface you were dealing with.
Yes.
Let me go get it. You keep talking about
So anyway, these are two of the colors. And then I pulled it with yellow. But isn't it interesting? Because there was some other mucky muck stuff on there from the other stamping. I can tell because that's a triangle right there. And then this is just the plain old. This has been on there a long time and I was sick of looking at it. That's a stencil using the micaceous. Now look at this Hummer here. Isn't this one? Look at the vibrancy of that blue. I mean, isn't that gorgeous? I'm looking over here. Oh, we want to see the lampshade. I think she headed in to get it.
I did. The light bulb was hot, so it took me a second.
Oh, yeah.
Even though it's one of those, I think it's not really a LED, but...
Am I in the right spot?
You need to come my way a little bit, and then you're going to be better. There you go. Lampshade is a little old, and that's why we didn't mind painting it.
Yeah, it's a very old lampshade. You can see it's kind of...
And not an expensive one by any means.
No, because I think we got it like at TJ Maxx or one of those discount.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because it was kind of messed up. But, you know, really, it's still... I think it looks pretty darn good.
I'm very impressed with... And those are stamped directly on there. Like, she didn't even...
Yeah.
Because I was like, hey, I think you should do tissue paper.
I was a little disappointed in that one. But it's a little bubble on the hey, the kid's happy with it. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is really an old print when I was doing some sgraffito. But I held it up like this, and do you see the bird thing going on there? And then if you look at it, it could be... I remember once we were watching... They have fish wheels in Alaska. and they're on this big thing, and they turn. And they catch the salmon and throw them out. You're allowed to catch so much, I don't know. But cleaning the fish is like a big thing. And the seagulls come in by the masses. And I have some great shots. Because this guy would throw the fish guts up in the air. And they would just zoom in. And they would catch it midair. It was absolutely... And this frenzied movement, this is what this reminds me of.
Yeah.
And I did not intend that when I was doing this. This was something that, yeah, I decided afterwards. Okay, those are pulled prints. Now, I do have, and I may save this one for Mariah for the Instagram here. Can you keep those?
For the Instagram.
Because it really is...
We can do that during the stream. I haven't posted an Instagram or short in a bit. It's funny.
You want me to go ahead and pull it?
Well, yeah, let me come over and record it. And then that way we have something for the Instagram.
The last layer on here was...
Okay, well, hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. I know.
Just hold it on.
Right into
and here's my toilet paper. Look at this. Doesn't it remind you of those sand things that you use, those little bottles that you used to get that created little scenes?
Okay.
You know, they're kind of touristy. I thought that was great. Okay.
Now
move
go.
The kombucha bottle. I want to talk about the kombucha bottle, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Join the stream to hear about the kombucha.
Last layer before the pull layer is bricks, and I am just keep your fingers crossed.
Yeah, this is a nail biter.
This is a nail biter because there's about 14 layers. I'm exaggerating slightly for effect, but there's a good 3 to 4 on there, and that gold is being very
grabby,
recalcitrant.
Oh, it's like something's staying behind, but it's the stencil underneath the plates. Ooh.
This is the new plate. I can smell the vanilla.
Wow.
Now I am losing some things here, but I think I'm losing them very uniformly, so I'm happy about that. That will just add to the next interest level.
And it's cool because it leaves the gold crackle or cracks in the print. There you go.
Whoop, whoop. Isn't that beautiful? Look at all those layers. Oh, great.
Okay, and I was being attacked by the...
Oh, by the stencil? Yeah, I know. It grabs me every now and then. Okay, I can't lay that down. All right, let me get rid of this. Now I've got my other stencil, the static electricity. I mean, if this is a cluster fudge.
All right, well, stay tuned on that one, y'all. It was 1.5 minutes, so I'll have to do some cutting.
Okay. So remember, all right, how many layers are on here? There was something on the plate, I feel sure, to begin with. There always is.
Yes, and these are the new bricks from Paula. Thank you, Mo. She put in the link there.
So then we had this one
bricks.
here, this stencil. I don't know what that one is. And then we had the circle stencil, and then the brick stencil. So there's 3 to 4, and then layer number 5. Was bricks, and I pulled it with gold.
Very nice.
Isn't that gorgeous?
It really is. Hold it up into the technology and give it a wiggle. There you go.
And it smells so good. Okay, so there's that. I was very proud of that, and I'm keeping that one.
She's proud of that, and she's keeping it.
I'm putting that over in the other pile. Okay, now what? All right, I got this out because absolutely, I love this stencil.
Becky, that one's punctuation on parade.
Because it's just so, you know, it reminds me of spray painting. I'm a big fan of spray painting.
Graffiti.
Graffiti. I like the vibe of it.
Hi, Lynn. Hi, Sarah.
And we're definitely going to be using that today. So I'm going to put that over here next to stars.
Upon ours. That was also a...
I like stars too, but I don't know. Limited.
Well, yeah, you know, you don't want to make everything a fanfare.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so I've been complaining to Mariah, and she got a little snorty. She said, well, if you will make it,
I will make it.
I will make it happen.
Yeah.
That's how we do these things. And, you know, I just kind of just put it on. Pardon me. I just put some on here because I figured, you know, she'd come through with her little whatever and fix it all up. Well, she didn't. She kept it just like it was. And I was like, well, dang, I would have spent a little bit more time making those crosses a little less jaggedy.
I think, but I told her, I said, the reason I think that I like that, because that makes it unique.
Well, and what I told her, I said, I like the other crosses just fine. I don't have any problem with those at all.
She wanted some little ones.
I wanted some little ones, and I wanted them closer together.
Size matters. So does space.
Size matters.
But space
We're going
is
to
size.
talk about that in just a minute, because size matters in many, many instances. You just can't, I cannot stress that enough, that should be a consideration for a lot of things.
Yeah.
You don't buy a huge couch for a very small room, because it makes the small room look even smaller. You get what I'm saying?
Well, and you want it to fit. We know
So,
we sort of have a bigger couch than we need.
Yeah, I don't like it because it's not made for people with short legs.
It isn't. It's a tall person
I sit there
couch.
and I feel like a little kid because my legs just stick out like this.
It needs more pillows to help the short people.
It certainly does. To move them out to the edge where they can bend their knees.
Which we did have, but then the pillows became a problem when you have a baby.
She thinks everything is a building matter. That's how she looks at it. Potential building matter. Oh, big pillows. Oh,
Hello,
whoa.
Solita.
Let me see. What can I do with those?
Okay,
And
Dee
even
Dee
though
has...
she has her brand new room and everything, she still has the Ovo Village in the...
Oh! Hi, Dee Dee
Yeah.
says, have we thought about making a paperback via Amazon Books with these cool pulled papers? We've been talking about a book. We just don't really know what that means for PMR Studio, but I like that idea. Like just a picture book of...
That's an interesting idea. I don't know.
Hey, if you know more about that, Dee Dee, can we talk?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I know that you can do that through Amazon. That's about as far as I know. Is that is an ability.
Okay, so...
Oh, it's Solita from the Philippines. My husband's half Filipino.
What is that?
Solita's from the Philippines.
Okay, I need to get out my...
Brad will be very excited.
Get out. Oh, come on, you.
Dee Dee said...
I'm wrestling with my black foam.
They're helping you out,
You
Dee Dee.
you really need to see it. Okay, look at this. I mean, isn't this... I just want to show you. This is my drawing. And this is the stencil.
Awesome.
Hot diggity.
Look at that. Almost like,
I've already gooed it up. And this is...
I kept coming up here and she's
Well,
like, I
it was
need
so
to
hard
use
for
it.
me. I just wanted to do it so bad. But I saved it for you all so you can see it. I need to see some hearts floating around up there, folks.
She's very proud of her.
I'm very,
cross-stitch.
yeah. I can't tell you that, you know, I really, the only reason that I changed directions here as well is because I was bored going the same direction. And I just kind of thought, because what Mariah usually does is she will take a segment and she would just enlarge it and tile
We
it.
ain't got that kind of time. She didn't realize.
Oh,
She's used to those kind of...
yeah. Well, that's
thought
been
it
my
was
experience in the past.
But I thought it was really cool as is. I mean, if it sucked, I would have fixed it.
Thank you, Mariah.
It didn't suck.
It didn't suck. Okay, now I have this, and I'm handing this off to Mariah so she knows where it goes over there with the original.
That's why I gave it to you, because, I mean, I kind of know.
And let me just tell you, did you see that when I licked it and rubbed it around with my finger?
See, Becky, I told you. She needs that card.
What?
Nothing. She knows what I'm talking about.
Okay, that is
And I don't know if I said hello to Isabel and Erna, but hello to Isabel and Erna, because I feel like I have.
Areolan hue. Open.
I like this idea, Dee Dee. I like it a lot.
Of making a book of papers?
Ephemera papers where they can just rip them out and glue them down and, like, just, like, that's what it's for.
Well, that'd be really cool. Could we make it like, have tissue paper and, or just one paper, one kind of paper? Could you have different kinds of paper?
See, she's always in making things complicated.
Yeah, probably up the cost. I'm
yeah,
sure.
in a world, there is a world where that could happen.
There's a world
It's
for
called,
that.
It's called commercial printing, and it'd be pricey.
It'd be pricey?
It'd be pricey.
Well, let's all know how much you're willing to spend, and that'll be a determining factor.
Aw, Dee Dee,
okay,
you're
so,
sweet.
woohoo! Oh, what did I put that away?
See, and then we just made it bigger. There's an
here's
8 by
what-
10 and a 9 by 12.
You do not understand how much I love this. You know, I'm always talking about size matters. Well, here you go. I have 3 different sizes. I love this.
Also, would like to. Okay, yeah, before I say something, I gotta double check something. 1 second. Because I would like to. Okay, good deal. P made it a request that these not be exclusive. So whomever wants to buy them right here and now, today, they are there.
They're there.
They're there.
We could mark make together. Now, I was mark making my own marks
It gets complicated. It's a loop.
before I got the stencils. And then Mariah wouldn't allow me to use the stencils, and I needed to make some more marks. So I had to manually make the marks. And, you know, that's okay, but geez, who has time for that? I do sometimes make time just simply because sometimes I lose my stencils. So I just have to wing it.
Definitely. I think any of y'all should.
Okay, so we've got these 3 sizes. We're going to keep that in mind because that's going to be important later on. We're getting down to...
Gina? Hey, those of you that have come in, do say hello in the chat so we can say hello back. Otherwise, we don't know that you are here and we'd like to say hello. Give those thumbsy upsies if you haven't already. If you're new to the channel, subscribe to all that YouTube business that you do. It's free.
I want y'all to look at that placement of that barcode there. Now, wasn't that brilliant? It was a total accident. And this little, the center of the thing's a little bit off.
The tip.
Anybody that was looking at this would know that this was handmade. And that's what we want. I would tell people who were saying, who would, you know, kind of critique my earrings and say, well, this one bead is a little bit different than this one. And I said, well, if you want your beads to match perfectly, you need to go to Claire's. She's got them. Okay. Yeah, that needs to shut them up. All right. So, did I cut this out during the stream?
You did.
So it's
We
already
watched it.
recorded. You watched me do that wonderful feat there. And with all of my brilliant measuring, Carrie, did you just have a little bitty?
I don't know. I don't know if this is the same kind of measuring he does, but this is definitely some spot-on measuring by
ruler.
Pete. You did.
And I mentioned numbers.
You did.
Carrie, I mentioned numbers. That constitutes. Okay, so I've been thinking about this. And I would like to put this on here with texture paste. And then I thought, why would I do a DA thing like that when I could do it on tissue paper and control all the variables? Plus, take care of this nasty edge here. So it's a twofer. Twofer. Always go for the twofers. And I can decide whether I want this to be directed in.
Unless it's in the bush.
Oh, the birds?
A bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. That's when twofer, you know.
This is true. This is very true. So there are exceptions to every case. Okay. So what I'm going to do, and I'm probably not get to it today, but I want to tell you the direction this is going, and I don't have to show you how to do this because, for God's sake, I've... and I might need to order some more light and fluffy. I'm getting a little low on.
Are you?
Yeah.
Huh. I feel like we just ordered that.
I know, and I forgot to tell you. I got it out, and I was just sure I had another one.
We've been hitting it hard.
We have been hitting it hard.
A lot of texture happening over here at PMR Studio.
There has been texture in the bejesus out of things. Okay, so here's the thing, too. I want to make sure when I'm making, because I'm going to do it on tissue paper, that I reverse this because I want it to, I want this arrow to come in, this change of direction of the little
Hootie-doos.
Hootie-doos, the marky things.
Marky thing.
Isn't that wonderful? And then this, look at this. Oh, this is just going to be so cool. And it's all sort of.
Can you show them the other thing that's going to come with that, or is that a later part of the string?
What? Oh, the stamps? Oh, yeah, sure. I can do that. Because, no, I don't want to do that right now.
You're going to show them later.
I've got those. They're
queued up.
They're stacked over here.
Okay.
Yeah. We got some stamps, too, folks. Now, I don't know. Why isn't this a stencil?
Well, because that wasn't really meant to be one. And let me tell you, actually, because you would complain about it anyway. And let's talk about, I want you to recognize, okay, you see?
Yeah, I already know what it is. Okay. Flippy floppies.
Flippy floppies.
Yeah.
In different directions.
Okay, in different directions. Yeah, okay. Don't, just, yeah.
Strike that.
Strike that. That was a thought.
It was.
It didn't make it
and
didn't make it out of the
and we have one that is
interview
sort of similar, and it causes
it causes me to make bad choices on my language. Okay, so this is where I'm going with this pouch. All right.
Okay.
I know. I'm really
new stencils. These are not exclusives because P was like, everybody needs these and they need them now.
Oh, absolutely. And the reason I say that is because these are the workhorses. You will use this and you will probably have to order another set because it'll get clogged up unless you're one of those stencil washers.
That's not judgment, just, you know.
Yeah, that's not judge. I'm not being judgy. I'm just saying I would like to be a stencil washer.
I would too, because let me tell you, she's a stencil soaker. And forget about it. And then there's things in the bathtub that I'm like...
What's nice about this, you can come back 6 months later and scrub it off with the brush and it's just good to go.
It is.
How do I know that? Well, because. Because.
Of the wonderful things she
All
does.
Right. Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. Now, here we go. Put that over there so I'll have to dig through some... Sometimes I think that I do that intentionally so that if I can't find something, I have to dig through piles, and then if I'm digging through piles, I might as well organize the piles.
That's what I told her.
Ever so slightly.
That is I'm
it's
like,
subconscious.
If you touch it, do some. Don't just put. She's into just moving piles. I'm like, if you touch it, why don't you just get it organized? The time is there. You've already you have engaged with the item.
Okay.
It's a thought.
Yeah, all right. Well, all right. You watched me fumble around with this the last time, right? Here's what I think the problem was. When I put my other little hootie-doo, and I'm going to, it's inside the pouch here. This is and Mariah has this cording. I think, did you find something?
I did.
Because the cording that I have is 110 years old.
And really, I'm going to keep it real simple for y'all. And I'm not going to put this like in any of our actual shop lists. But just if you are looking for cording, here's a link to the search that I did. There are lots of similar products. Basically, the thing that you want to consider is that it is nylon. And this particular size is a 0.075, which also I found very interesting because everything listed on Amazon is a 0.8. But I'm like, maybe they're just rounding up. I don't know.
Okay. Now, I'm doing this. I'm doing this on the camera because this nylon unravels. This particular one has an inner section of stuff.
Yeah, hold it in your hand and do the little. There you go, and then bring it down.
You can fluff up your bits.
You got to fluff your bits.
Fluff your bits. Now I'm going to show you here. Where's my? Can't do black on black.
Oh, that sounds exciting,
okay.
Martin. Hello.
Knots.
Knots.
You want to knot this, and you can burn it, but I don't like those little burny things because the nylon is really sharp.
And probably a little, probably not good.
It melts, and I'm sure the fumes are not good for you. I mean, I have done it before. Obviously, I know what I'm talking about.
You know, you got to.
And if you're wearing them around your neck, trust me, don't burn your.
Sarah says you can
fluff
use
your
a lighter.
bits. Don't burn them.
Yeah. No, they just burn. They just go on fire.
Yeah.
They don't melt.
Yeah, they melt. They turn into a little blob of goo. And when the goo hardens, it's pointy, and it'll poke your neck. So, the best thing to do is to fluff your bits.
Tips and tricks, y'all.
Tips and tricks. Now, you can see the size of the balls here are different. The little knot balls.
Knot balls.
This is the 3-loop, and this is a 2-loop.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I'm talking about when I say that? Mariah, could you hand me the thread?
Oh, yeah.
Cording.
So that's the stuff. I put a link there into chat. That's just a search link. If you use it, it is affiliate based.
And like I said, this was established in 1932, and Mariah says they're no longer, but it was in the USA.
Well, let me just say, because I know y'all are some searchers, so you'll find it and prove me wrong, and that is totally fine. I accept that. I quickly searched. I did not find that particular company. There was another Hastings company, and maybe that's just what happened, that they moved on to like bigger like climbing cords, or maybe that's really what they did, and this was just a thing that they did for a little bit, but that's the information I found.
Yeah.
And they are not selling on Amazon.
And I don't know where it came from because it was in my art room when I got there.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Mimi.
And we would use this when we were making jewelry. Remember when we were doing the community service thing? In my art room, my kids made a whole bunch of jewelry and then took it to the FCCLA conference and sold it. And all proceeds went to the Hereford Project, where you can buy you can buy a cow, you can buy geese, you can buy chickens.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Well, I thought so too. My kids, they loved it. And I'm telling you what, they sold the bejesus out of that stuff. They made earrings, they made bracelets.
Oh, that's a good call. So Carrie says when he knots cord, he then just puts a little dab of glue. Now that would be hard for this one over here, but that's okay. To seal it and hold it.
Okay, so then you just pull it down and you've got a knot. And you can really, if you're into like...
You are visible, Becky.
Fluffing your bits there, you can fluff that back till that's really a nice little tassel. But what Carrie said is probably good too is to put a little tiny bit of glue there.
It has a cotton inner, right?
I think it says quality all nylon, so I am guessing even the innards are nylon also.
Okay.
I would think. But yeah, you can fluff it up, and this is good stuff. And this is something I like to have this on hand, because if you don't have something that goes with your outfit perfectly, but you do have like a pendant or a whatever, you just hang this stuff on there, and you've got a necklace to go.
Yeah.
And you can make it any length that you want, unlike, the chains that you've got. So, here, what?
I don't know, that's for the king to decide, Lee. or Paula. Is Paula the queen? I don't know. Of the nerd.
Oh. Alright, so here's the little thing that I've got on the inside here. And I had it all ready to tie on the little stick.
Depends on what you're into, Jim.
But here's the problem. Do you see what the problem is? This pouch needed to come up here. So don't make your flaps too long, is what I'm saying. Because then you can't have this kind of closure. But I think I pulled it out in the end.
Yeah, she did.
It's an interesting closure. It has a story behind it. Oh, and I hear. And I can't get this one off. I don't know why all of a sudden this one came off. You know, I think it was just the universe speaking to me.
That you needed that ring?
That I needed that ring. But you can tell it has little...
grippies.
It's not solid. It's, yeah.
They're those little grippy things.
Honeycombed. Yeah, and it is the little grippy things.
Mm-hmm.
It's not coming off. I highly recommend this brand of kombucha also. It has a lot of zip to it. Some kombuchas are kind of like, nah. But this one's got some authority.
Authority. Yeah, hey, Becky, make sure that you are in live chat. You know, the little thing, check it up there. Sometimes it's a drop-down deal. Sometimes it's, you know, the hamburger thing.
Okay. So all I did is I just tied it on there like you usually tie stuff on. I'm going to have one thing going one way.
Paula says, yes, she is a full queen of the nerd. I mean, she did bring the first chair, so it seems right.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
And, you know, you can do all kinds of things here with this. You know, I could go NZ.
Yeah.
NZ, and then this one would come up and go the other way so that they can... But my little loopy-doo thing is, you know, it's big enough there that I've got options. Now, the only thing is with this cord, you've got the reason I have extra here, and I'm telling you this, so that you don't make the same mistake. You want to give yourself plenty, because you're going to have to double knot this. It's very slicky. It does not stay tied. So you will have to do that if you want your pouch to actually stay shut.
Yeah, hold it up into the technology. I don't know if y'all are going to be able to see all that little whippy business, but, you know. Hopefully you get the idea.
And I don't know that this is finished. The back looks a little But for the time being, I'll get back into it, and I'll have some other things I want to do. But I think it looks fabulous. And by the way, there's pictures of all of them.
I did. I posted in Makers because y'all requested that. So the ones that are finished are in Makers.
Alrighty. So.
Hi, Lexi.
Here are the 3 stamps. And I just want you to see how dadgum cute and wonderful they are. Aren't they? We're going to do a bit of stamping today. See this? I mean, I know I've got a lot of stuff going on here. I love this square business. And I love this netting. Now, I should tell you what I did. And Izzy came in when I was doing this, and she said, "What are you doing, Gigi?" I said, "Well, I'm fixing my stamp." She says, "I'm going to go tell Mama, and she's going to be really mad at you." Because I decided I didn't want my squares to be so perfect. So I just came in with my X-Acto knife, and I just kind of roughed it up and cut some stuff out.
It's okay.
But
hey, you know what? When you buy it, you do whatever you want to it.
Izzy was standing there and
looking horrified.
You're going to be in trouble.
Hold it up into the technology. Now, this particular stamp is one from Carrie the Crafter. And I believe this one is is this one woven mesh, or is this, hold on.
Well, I'm trying to find. Because I've already done some of this stamping on something else. And
you're making me nervous. I feel like you're going to start sneezing. And
it's a distinct possibility. Here, check this out.
It's a distinct possibility.
Butterflies, recognize that?
Yeah, see, that was during the... See, Mo's going to find it probably before I do.
Well, Pooty poo, I guess.
Coated mesh. See, look at me. I kind of knew.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, here I'll have to dump off my. These are my stamps that I got out that I want to use.
Good God.
But here's what it looks like now. It's kind of rough around the edges. It looks like it's broken.
No worries, Sharon. I get it.
Yeah.
Hi, Trisha.
And I guess it's just stuck together. I don't know how to. I had one that I stamped the whole dadgum page last night. And
oh, wonderful! And hello, Adria.
Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Okay. Never mind. I got it. This is the pot. I don't really know how these made it into this one. I want to talk about drawing circles too, but not right now. All right. So I've got bricks out here. Mariah gave me this. She always does, so we can play with that. Don't want to lose my stencil. Gets caught up in the... Okay, so I got...
Carrie would like you to know that he feels slightly violated.
I'm sorry, Gary. I would have called and asked for permission, but Mariah wouldn't give me your number.
That's probably true. I would have been like, I don't know about that.
Okay, so you know what Izzy was doing while I was violating Carrie's
coated mesh?
Coated mesh.
It ain't so coated anymore. She decoded it. Maybe that's what
just in certain spots. I was just, making it fit my.
I like it.
My lexicon.
It's distressed.
It's distressed. Yes. So you've got options, and look at this. That dadgum Aurelian. Areolan. And you can see here. See, I was using my newly made application because my daughter broke it.
I did.
She broke it off. So I had to fix it with a popsicle stick.
No, that's a corn dog stick.
Yeah, it's a corn dog stick.
Let's get your sticks right.
Yeah, seriously. I could use a corn dog.
Well, you and Castle can go do that. We got to go to Nickel-Rama.
Darn, I'm sure sorry I can't do
I
that.
can make you go. You act
I guess Van and I could go for a little while and then very, very carefully sneak out the door. Because I love this kid that it's his birthday.
He's so sweet. And his family's very sweet.
And they're wonderful. And they're supportive of our Izzy and her weirdness.
They do. They love her to bits, and that's wonderful. The size of the coated mesh, I can't remember exactly what size it is either.
Well, here, I used it a whole bunch here.
That doesn't help.
Do you want me to find it again? I'd say it's about 3 by 3.
It's 4 1/4.
Oh.
4 1/4 by 3 1/4.
Yeah.
So if you, on any listings on the PM Artist Studio website, if you go a little below the picture area, and then there's like the description, but then right next to it says additional information, it should give you then size and dimension.
So 4-inch square.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. There you go.
I beg your pardon, it's a 3-inch square. It may come in 4 inches.
Well, that's the 3 1/4, and then measure that side.
It just barely comes to 3.
Wonder why it says 4 1/4. We may have done that for packaging reasons.
Well, and maybe I got one of the...
That's how it pulls... No, that's the size. That's how it pulls, like, knowing which packaging and stuff and how to calculate all that. So sometimes we have to fudge the numbers in order for it to pull the proper information. There you go. There's some behind the scenes for y'all.
Okay. All right. So there we go.
Yeah.
It says, yeah.
But it's really more the 3 1/4 square.
Yeah.
I might go fix
At least
that.
that's the one I've got.
Yeah.
Now, you know what I could have too is like a pilot.
You could, but I'm pretty sure that those
are
what they are.
Well, whatever. It's really good. You should buy it. And you can customize it. You can make it yours. That's what I think is cool about all of these. And I love that you can carve into these stamps. You can cut them apart, because I do that all the time. This used to be 3, and you can see where I chopped it off. I wanted it to be able to, and I did. I used...
She's got a 2-fer and a 1-fer.
Yeah, and I have the other one. Oh, I used it and put it away. It's in my thing back over here. The roundeder one.
It's the SpongeBob ruler.
Okay, so then what we've got going on here.
Becky loves it when you use the SpongeBob ruler.
What? Oh. Yeah, well, you notice what I did on one side. I made the numbers larger so that they would show up in the camera. Because
that's the reason.
My nose is really itchy, Mariah. I it's just, I don't know why. Sometimes it just, then see, look at this. Still wet. So we're going to just put that away right now. We're not going to work with this one because
it ain't working with us.
it needs some time alone. Okay. So, look at all this wonderful stuff that I got going on here before I even got my new little stamps.
Eddie listed his stamps. He says, P, cut up my unraveling squares. So, I left a message on Adam Savage's, like, one of his latest videos, because he was talking about, well, he said, you know, let me know down in the comments how you alter things, because in his shop, like even his tools, he modifies them and tries to, you know, improve them and, you know, do things like that. And I said, you know, even though we aren't, you know, we aren't builders, we aren't mechanics or machinists or anything like that, but we are makers. And in our community, we highly encourage cutting up our artist tools or modifying them.
Yeah, in some way.
I'm waiting to hear back from him. Someday somebody's gonna pop in, and then they're just gonna be like, "Hey, Mariah, I saw your comment. It really touched me."
Okay, so I've got one piece from Eddie's. Sorry, Eddie. Hey, I've been doing a lot of violating here.
She's equally violating them.
Yeah. Okay, so I've got this little jobber here. Oh, but I forgot to tell you about these things here.
Hey, Sherry.
Those were in a cup, and while I was violating Carrie's
coated mesh,
and Eddie's
unraveling squares.
She unraveled
them.
Easy's picking off the paint down there and handing it to me. This is what is at the bottom of the dish, you know? And I just thought it was perfect for this, so I just glued it down immediately, because God knows if I don't do that, I won't be able to find that.
Be some piece of paint floating around here
next week.
Now, keep in mind, whenever you are stamping on top of acrylic paint, it is going to take a long time for it to dry.
It does.
Even if it is like the archival who's it, what's it type things, because they're meant to stamp into paper.
Yes, absorbent surfaces, not whatever. Okay, now here's one of my little kneaded erasers that I just keep changing it to make it work for whatever I want it to do. It's just a little messy marker.
Messy marker. Why didn't we call it? Well, that's pretty cute. Have to keep that in mind.
And
trademark.
The thing about it is, if you don't like that, and after a while, it kind of you have to reestablish its shape because it smushes.
It's kneaded. It's a kneaded eraser. It gets kneaded.
And all right, isn't this looking splendid?
Yes, exactly.
What?
He says, well, so Mo put in the link to coated mesh, and she says, Carrie's violated coated mesh, and then Eddie says, Mo, rather unviolated stamp, violate at your own discretion once purchased.
Yes. We encourage that.
Yes.
Okay, so you can see I've got this little jobber out here. And I love working on painted surface because if you put your thing down and you skate it just a little bit, you get a little bit bigger mark. I mean, I'm not like, I guess you could do that, but, you know, just a little bitty skate. See that? Did you see that?
Mm-hmm. Some people try to avoid that. You just work with it and make it. Yeah.
Now, I think that this is getting to be really wonderful. But it's not quite there yet. I'm just saying.
I tell you, if we ever get big enough and start doing like charity events, we're going to auction off Eddie. I think he'll bring a good amount. You know, like where you can auction off like a date or a time.
Oh,
or,
yes. They, what is that called? I don't know. Yeah.
Help us out in the chat.
Okay. Put that on the bottom. We're going to work on this for just a moment because we've got, okay, here's the grouping. And you know what I'm probably going to do to
It's
these?
for charity.
I'm going to violate them and cut them across here.
Even after special request.
I changed my mind. I can do that.
You can.
Now here, I love these little boogers so much. Okay, now Mariah,
So keep in mind on the, did you show him the little one?
What? I just used it.
The little button one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, she was using that one. That one's available in the shop too. Because she's like, what if I just wanted one? And I said, well, let me go talk to Brad about it.
And here, this was kind of interesting. I don't know, did I use any of that on here? I don't think so.
Now, that little tiny thing she's holding there.
Yeah, this is kneaded eraser.
Yeah.
It's not in the shop.
Mm-hmm.
Got to make your own, folks.
Oh, Sandy says Sadie Hawkins.
Sadie Hawkins, thank you, my God. Had a moment there. This is just one of those little...
We should start putting that on the website.
Little jobbers that, you know, it's not all that interesting. It's like cotton underwear.
I may put it down in the description, Sherry.
Real comfortable. Not necessarily something that just knocks your socks off. But you can see it after a while it's going to kind of change its character.
Yeah.
Because that's
aware.
Because I'm pushing on it. So it's smushing it out. And I'll have to come back in and reestablish my...
And the more you handle it, the warmer it is, the more it's going to...
Exactly.
You know.
Now, also, I will say with kneaded erasers, if you want to do that. Blick makes some good ones.
Oh, the Sadie Hawkins thing is when ladies get to choose.
Yes.
Auction is, you know, kind of...
Well, we would kind of put those together because the FHA and the FFA.
Is that right?
Future Farmers of America
Yes.
and the Future Homemakers of America would get together and we would sub-sponsor that and all the money would go into our, I don't know, discretionary fund. For what the hell ever. I don't even remember what
they were discretionary.
I should remember what happened because I was the president.
Oh, good God. I'm sure she
and
ran
I won
it much
the Betty
like how
Crocker Award, so y'all can just shush it on my homemaking ability.
We need to put this resume out on the internet. I want a timeline of all these things. She was a cheerleader too.
Hey, my sister sent me for my birthday a copy of the newspaper that announced that I had won the Betty Crocker. Oh man, hey, and I'm telling you what, the competition, the person who was the
she's probably still harboring
what would you call the person who this is the valedictorian is the person that is the highest GPA. Okay, well she also tried out for it and I beat her out.
Was any of this like part of like who you know or who you're related to?
Oh my God, are you thinking that it was rigged?
It's just a small town. I mean, I'm asking. I mean, what are your feelings?
Distinct possibility.
It's not out of the realm of,
Yeah.
you know.
I mean, it could have happened.
Yeah.
Except that's not true. The contest was actually one on the writing. And you were given a topic, and you had so much time to, you know, sit down and write.
Oh.
It wasn't like you could take it home and work on it.
Right. Okay.
So, yeah.
Sandy also won the Betty Crocker Homemaker
Oh, my
Homemaker
gosh.
of Tomorrow award.
It makes me giddy. Okay, I'm really liking this little stampy thing here.
Wonderful.
It's
I'm
like
glad that one's not in the shop and available to people.
Let me tell you what, this is really difficult to do.
You just got to get some kneaded eraser.
You got to get some kneaded erasers. Now, what do I do?
And then you just roll it up in a little thingy. You know, you make a snake with your hand like this. And then you curl it around.
Okay.
Right?
So you can get these erasers at Dick Blick, right?
Yeah, do not buy the ones on Amazon. They smell terrible. They are not needed erasers. They are weird and gross.
Yeah, they do weird things. Okay, I guess that's the way it's supposed to go.
You know, tips and tricks, y'all.
Tips and tricks. Don't buy the cheapies this time. So all you got to do is just make a... And you can make as, you know, much as you want.
Mm-hmm.
Make it as long as you want it.
I like that, Lizanne.
And you can marry them together. And then you just roll them up.
Oh, and thank you, Mo. Yes, and do consider buying or utilizing our affiliate link there over at Blick if you are buying from. And Blick does have the best kneaded erasers. We know because we buy them, and even very rarely do we ever send anything back. P was like, they smell disgusting. They were super.
Oh, I never send it.
They were really
if I could have used them. They're stringy. When you know how your kneaded eraser usually you can pull it apart and it goes back together. This would just string out.
Yeah.
And it would leave little bally boos on your paper. And one of the reasons that you want to use your kneaded eraser
so you don't have that.
So that you don't have that.
Yeah. So see, there you go.
Tips and tricks.
Tips and tricks.
Tips and tricks. Okay, enough with this. I've got all these wonderful over here, and I'm using.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of saying, but that's fine. I mean, people know that.
Is this the one I was using? This is
Yeah, the
another
little
little
itty-bitty.
weirdo.
Little bits.
Yeah, I used a lot of that on. Well, what did I do with that?
Mm-hmm.
Had blue bits on it. I don't know. It'll show up here in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is how I start on these. There really isn't any rhyme and reason, and usually the pattern of the brayer-offs is how I start. Because you can see here where the brayer-offs are. And I was just noticing here, I've got a funny little drawing here, because I was talking to Izzy about, you know, people and whatnot.
Hold it up into the technology so we can appreciate.
So you can just see a ghost image there.
Oh, it is a little, yeah.
It's a person sitting and...
Yeah, kind of.
Uh-huh. And whatnot, and the head and whatnot. And I can't remember what she was talking about, but I said, okay, so here's the thing. You know, if you need to have mass in your bodies. Don't just do the lines.
She has been adding more mass.
I know.
She does listen sometimes.
But she does.
If she's interested.
You know, it amazes you what the child actually absorbs. And when it comes out, sometimes it's not so.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
We have to talk about, hey, this is for you, and this is the family information only. This should not be discussed in public.
Okay, so let's just start off with our stamps here. And I'm going to use the groupings. Don't worry, I'm going to get to the stencils. I promise. Now, I'm going to soup up my... Get rid of my brayer.
Golly.
I don't want to have a little red thing sticking up in the middle here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really trying hard not to start my sneezing.
Yeah.
All right. You know, we really need to order some more of this, Mariah.
Okay.
I hate this stuff because when I squeeze it out, I don't know
you
why.
Yeah,
It just gets all over. Why is that?
I do not have this problem. It's a user thing. It's not a...
It just ends up all over me.
It could...
I do like myself a juicy stamp pad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not into
dry.
And I can already tell you partially why is because when I do this, I don't remember to wipe my hand off. It gets on the side.
Yeah. And
then I take my credit card thing to kind of spread it around here. And sometimes I'll grab the wrong side and put it back in there, and that contributes also to the whatever there.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Moving right along. What did I decide? Oh, yeah, I was going to do.
Oh, Susan says you need to clean off the little neck and the cap. That's why you have the problems with the bottle splurting. It's a nose wiping business.
Oh, because then it dribbles down.
Yes, it's a dribble thing.
Okay, well, obviously, you know, I don't...
She hasn't worked that out.
I hadn't worked that out. It's kind of like washing stencils. I don't know. Kind of did a little hop there, didn't it?
Hey, but you're doing fine. I will say that, so, you know, depending on, like, kind of the effect that you want with the foam stamps, they do a little better with a juicier pad because it does soak into the foam. But then what's nice is because it does soak into the foam, it kind of gives for longer.
Yeah, because look, you didn't see me re-upping.
Yeah. Just some, you know, some information. And
I'll tell you what, I you know, when I was doing Izzy's, that was the other thing that was difficult. Mm-hmm. The stamping of her, I'm going to put that over there for just a sec. The lampshade, because what I was doing, I was creating these ombre colors, and they're all, and I mixed the colors, okay? It wasn't anything, now that's not, no, it's true because I had to put white in everything because some of my colors that I wanted to use were not open, and I knew they needed to be open for me to do because I tried to get one color of the butterfly on each of the 4 sides, so I was using a big plate. And only part of it I was really using was the part where the 2 colors met in the middle. That's how I got the ombre effect.
I mean, you did it like I really was very impressed. I was worried, to be honest, because I wasn't sure how that was all going to go.
But this is my nod to the process of sashiko that is used a lot of times when they do boro, which is patching, and they layer, you know, the cloth and
right.
But they do running stitches.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're just running stitches like this. But sometimes then they go back the other way, and that's where you get this effect here. And I think that that's really, I don't know. I love it.
And then a nod to the whole, because we called these Sumi marks, because, you know, especially coming off of the mark making thing, we're like, well, that makes sense. Because we want to put in the descriptions, you know, even if you didn't know that, number one, you would be like, oh, well, that's kind of cool. What is that? Maybe you explore it a little further. Or you know what it is, and you're like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And I have to be careful
Margie.
because
Hi,
I can feel it's sticky. So I know it's wet.
Yeah. Now, keep in mind that eventually the archival ink does dry.
It does.
And it's probably one of the better ones.
And it doesn't get washed out if you use another once it's dry, it's there.
Yes.
It's not gonna keep coming off. The reason I keep turning this and just doing this is because I want it to seem not so perfect. And overlapping and kind of making a little bit of a double thing there where you get that feeling that, okay, you know, it's, I don't know. All right, I'm liking that. I've got this going this way. I've got two corners here. The reason I do this like this is because these pieces that I'm doing right now, other than I might start saving some of them for this book that we're going to have.
What book? Oh,
Paper book.
She's into the book.
What do you think, Mariah?
I
mean, I think some of these are really quite nice.
I think that that would be awesome because if it was professionally or commercially printed, I believe the color quality would be that is always like kind of one of my concerns about even making the digitals, because I don't want people to be like, you know, oh, it looked great, but I can't get it to print worth a darn kind of situation. Because that happens here. Like, we've had prints that were like, I have tried to reproduce.
Yeah.
And even knowing what I know, it's a struggle. And not to, you know, toot my own horn, but I kind of know what I'm doing. And it was very tricky to get good, consistent color. And yellows are very tricky to hit. It's either, you know, bright yellow or it looks like, you know, puke.
Puce.
Mainly puke.
Puce.
Puce, yes.
All right, I think.
Okay, awesome,
just a
Carrie,
little
thank you.
bit of a stamp down there. Look at that. Started out as this thing that I just kind of, what I was doing was just using up the paint that I had on my thing when I was doing Izzy's butterflies. So that I didn't feel like this way. So I just switched it around and on a brayer-off. But I think that turned out quite nice. We'll keep that over here. Let's see what else we've got here. Oh yeah, I wanted to do this. No, this is not the one I wanted to do. This one.
And I will say, we have some awesome stuff coming up for May. I'm getting really excited about that. So even more stamps and things coming. I know y'all know that. I mean, we have been trying to do two kind of, in fact, you need to show a couple other stencils. I know, Devin, are you here? Are you listening? Is she here? Yolande, that's Devin Rexford Art.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. The swirly ones back here.
Yes.
All right, well, I need to finish with this because I've got a whole stack of...
Yeah, kind of pre-releasing those for her so that way on Wednesday she has them to show, because that's kind of her May release. But obviously more and more. We've been trying to do kind of two. One at the first of the month and then one at the end of the month. So obviously we're kind of here at the end of the month with a little crossover into the beginning.
Okay, so you see I've already used Eddie's. I came in with my white paint and did these little spots here.
Because I told her she couldn't use the stencil.
Because I had, you know, the director said, don't use that. You need to wait. I said, well, pooty poo, I can do that.
Look at that.
Now, look at this. Isn't this just absolutely, I mean, I absolutely, I love it.
Hey, and here's the thing. If you just wanted smaller sections, I know Carrie talks about doing this, or I think he has done this, where he just utilizes a Post-it note to block off parts of the stamp. Hi, Robin. That's funny.
Okay, isn't that? Look at that.
Fab. Now what are you thinking?
I think that this needs something over here, but I don't think it needs stamping. I think I need to come in and repeat some more of the yellow on this side. And we're not set up for that. Okay. So now we've got this one, which I've already started doing some stamps on it. I need, I think, to get more red involved here, but I also think I need some black. And I like the screen thing, and I don't know what happened to that. I lost that in the shuffle. But here's what's interesting. See these crosses?
Yes.
Those are the other crosses.
That's for, yeah, those are Foril's crosses. So there's that stamp, and if you own that,
and this is when I was looking at these, and I was like, well, you know, everything else out here is kind of, it's unequally spaced and it's off a bit.
Yeah.
I would really like to be able to have some,
yeah, the other one is frayed weave.
Okay.
You ain't juicy. Do you need more ink in that?
Yeah, I probably do. I don't think I inked this one up.
Do you have ink?
I do.
Are you sure? Because I have the black downstairs.
Jet.
Oh, I have my own.
Yeah, I need jet, I need manganese, and then I need whatever that red stuff is, and I think it's alizarin.
I think it's...
Yeah.
I don't think it's alizarin. But you could be right. Yes, and the cool squares are Eddie's Introvert foam stamp.
And I did these with acrylic paints. And then this is Geopoly.
No, she is not, Sonia.
What?
She's just asking questions.
I have a hard time getting the middle of this deadgum stamp. I don't know if other people have that issue.
I don't like the big stamp heads. I like the little one. And now it takes a little longer to, you know, get the bigger stamps inked up, but, you know.
We're going to cross over the crosses.
There you go. Oh, I like that. That's very cool. I like that whole
I did too.
big to little. Oh, and that's, yes, the Geopoly stamp that's on there. And we have that both in, like, the markings and block.
Yeah, because it's just this size.
It's a little longer than that.
And is there a bigger one?
No, it's a little longer than that, though. Well, if you wanted to show them, you could show them the stamp. I guess it is. Oh, that's the new square ones. Because there's Geopoly, the block markings, and then there's the 3 set of the little...
Yeah.
Geopoly has much, you know, many forms over there in the PM Art Studio shop. I know, it's kind of becoming like going to the Cheesecake Factory. Their menu's too big. But this is where a wish list comes in handy. I like that. Now what would be kind of neat is if you came in with the watercolor technique with the shimmery stuff and put shimmery bezels across. It's an idea.
Well, I need to wait for my ink to dry.
Yes. Yeah, because that could cause some...
It will, yeah, it will make it real ugly. And you won't like it.
Is this where somebody can come along and smack you and tell you need to stop?
I'm telling you what, I love this cross stamp so much.
Just want to keep...
I just love it. Okay, I'm going to consider that. It's not done, but it's done for now.
That round.
That round.
Uh-huh.
All right, so what else do I have here?
Paula wants to sew it. Actually sew them.
Well, I would like to do some. Okay, this is cool too because here's Froyle's
Paint dash.
Yeah. And carries unadulterated.
Coated mesh before getting, you know, decoded. I love this piece, and I almost wish you'd just leave it black and white.
I've been thinking that too, Mariah. I'm not just agreeing with you two.
Well, I don't think anybody would believe.
And see, I did try to do something there with the stencil.
Oh yeah. I see.
And you know, it just didn't turn out very well. So
Sharon is saying that it really, especially I think the colorful ones look batik-like.
Ah. And I do have some little white. This is so cool, though, because even over the top of the paint, it does a different... Can you see that?
Well, because it'll have a little bit of a... Now, once it dries...
It's not going to be so shiny.
It won't be so shiny.
But it does have a different...
sheen
to it, yes.
Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Ellen.
Okay, where's my
and hello to all of y'all that are coming in. Do say hello in the chat so we can say hello back. If you do not see chat, that means you are on the replay. You can still say hello, and we will say hello back. It just might take me a minute. But do give those thumbsy upsies if you haven't already. It was a good call on doing the little single button one.
Because you can place them more where you want them. And I think I'm going to have a few more crosses here. I just don't believe I have quite enough.
I like that. Momo says, Sumi mark one button. This stamp circles positivity.
Yes.
I love it. You're so good.
Or it's the thing where, you know, people put a coin over dead people's eyes.
It could be that. You know, if you wanted to be dark.
All right, look at that. Now, this is kind of bothering me a little bit down here where it's all white.
Oh, yeah, and the big spider-looking thing, that is actually not only
that's
a stamp. That's the Flower Urchin by Fran. And then it also comes in masks.
But, yeah, and I actually did use that. This is a really dark, and this is a lighter one. And then this is from the... from
the little gel plate
when I did that,
business.
when I was stamping onto the actual paper from the other pouch.
Yeah.
All right, so I've got some more here that I did in yellow. And there was some kind of weird stuff. Oh, I think this is because I was like multiple moving around. And you can see part of Eddie's stamp there.
Yeah.
That was totally unintentional. I didn't really mean for that to happen. Okay, now, before I put this away, watch this, folks.
Yes, Sonia. Ooh. Very nice.
Like that.
And they do have a spidery feel to them. But they're also meant to look like not only urchins, but thistles.
Okay, these little jobbers, and I'll show you here in a minute. You might not, I don't know if people have even ever ordered them.
Well, they're not available. These were little testers.
They're not?
This is why we can't give her anything. But certainly, if you are interested...
But look what you can do.
They're just so itty bitty. We just didn't... Like, we got to make a set, I guess, or something.
Well, yeah, because I've got it got it over here in.
But we were testing out lines and cut lines. And...
Oh, and see, that's probably why Brad stops giving me stuff. Is because I don't know that it's. But okay, so I've got this little row of lines. I like these little tiny things because you can just come in and you can just put them in that one spot, which you just need it in that one spot. You don't need it like everywhere.
Well, maybe we'll make a little mini set of X's, crosses.
Isn't that cool?
Some of y'all may actually have these because any of y'all that won in the last, I think in the last big giveaway, some of these little stamps might have been in there. So it's not that people don't necessarily have them, but it's more like they kind of go in the IMPP giveaway realm of things.
But see how much more texturally interesting this is becoming, even though I'm adding this red on top of the black.
I like it.
And it's not like really, whoa! It just, you know, it's, and I could use my little 3-fer, but I like this little jobber that I can just move it around.
This is collage stamping.
Collage stamping. That looks great. Okay, where's my circles? I've got to have some circles here.
Or maybe just mixed media stamping.
And this is, you know, and I want you to know, and the reason I kind of like doing things for Izzy and Mariah once in a while is so that you all know that I do try to get them out of my color preference range, because I know that if you just keep using your same
Hi, Rosemary.
over and over and over again, you just keep making the same thing, and I mean, how freaking boring is that? And so you gotta branch out, folks. Branch out. Okay, now
Bye, Christy.
This is really okay. I gotta get my black stamp pad back.
Oh yeah, that's a nested circle.
Yeah, I really like the little one. I rarely ever use the big one. In fact, I'm really thinking about cutting it up into chunks.
Yeah, I think that would be cool.
So that I can chunk it.
Chunk it.
But I think when I cut it, I'm not going to just go chop. I'm going to...
Oh, yeah, make it jaggy or whatever.
Jaggy, so that I could actually put the circle together again. Mm-hmm. But have it a little bit off.
Makes sense.
Doesn't that sound wonderful?
It does. Hi, Dawn.
Okay, so this little guy that everybody, you know, thought was really ridiculous. This is what you do.
I think Sonia was saying that she would like that for a little border thing. Page borders. Okay, well, I'll talk with Brad about that.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe he has just taken it off.
What do you mean?
That he doesn't have it on his computer anymore.
Oh, well, I think this is fairly easy to replicate. If the file
and one is one that has the little squares around it, and the other one is just the marks. Like that.
Well, because the lines got burnt out.
Oh.
That's why I said these are tester stamps.
I just thought, isn't that cool? Look at the variety you can get there.
This is called learning how your machine works.
And
because they don't have a manual, you know. I mean, they do, but all different types of materials, and there's so many variables. Now, where are these going, and what are you doing with these particular papers?
These are going to become the book.
That goes in the pouch? Or what?
No. Our book that we're going to have printed.
Well, you didn't know about that until, like...
You just asked me, and I just decided.
Oh. Thank you, Dee Dee Willingham, for that information. You got P all excited. She's furry.
I'm making pages. Actually, we've got pages over here. I could page up.
Oh yeah, there is. I don't even think we have
multiple volumes. We could have, you know.
Yes, no doubt.
Volume 1, 2,
infinity.
I have been less stash, and I even every now and then when we get into it. But doesn't that just look wonderful?
Yes.
I think that looks wonderful. All right, so I thought it would be very good. I'm going to leave these stamps all right here, and I'm hoping I don't have to get rid of them because they're stamps that I might ostensibly use.
Tracy was talking about the big nested. We didn't even give one to P because it's just too big for her to.
What?
The big nested, you know, like.
Oh, I didn't even want that.
No.
I don't know why anybody would want that, but you know.
For people that do big things.
Well, whoop-de-effing do. I'm happy for them. Oh, here, I needed to do a little bit of
Sounds
work on
like it,
that.
doesn't it?
But I want to get, what time is it? Why is my computer still
30 minutes.
Off? Oh, well, I better get with it, my jump printing on.
Yeah.
All right, well, you can see here, I'd probably come in with my, definitely my little pluses.
Mm-hmm.
And the next thing I want to do is I want to do a little, you know how this has that broken edge there? I'd like to just have the circle, but little tiny circles like my little tiny crosses.
Well, that could be the set.
And it could come as a set.
Because, like, I don't feel like, you know, just offering one little tiny, you know, and if somebody ordered that, it seems kind of silly for
No, I want it to be like
a set.
This. With just that, but much tinier. Much tinier.
Okay, we need to work on the set
and
figure out what goes into the set.
I love this so much because it goes thick, thin.
Mm-hmm.
Thick, thin, thick, thin.
He did well with that.
Brad did this one all by himself.
Nobody telling him what to do. Can you imagine?
And the other thing, and Carrie mentioned this, I think, is that Brad has started to cut out the edge rather than have it be in a block. And I don't know, does that take more machine time to do that?
No. And in fact, I don't think so. Because I asked him that too, and I think the answer was not really. Like, it doesn't...
Sort of the same, except you just have to go deeper.
It probably adds a little bit to the time, but it's minute compared to the number one. It's also helpful for how we lay out things. So it allows for more things to be butted up to one another.
Yes, and more organically placed on a
better
page.
Usage of the actual...
Your material.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think it's brilliant because you can see where it is here. Whereas when you had that big block, you were just, it's kind of a guessing game.
Yeah.
So I applaud that. I don't know who was in charge of that, but that was a brilliant.
An organic edge offers versatility. Carrie Griffith.
It does.
Thank you.
It really honestly does, because it's not, and especially if your stamp is organically, it feels.
Yeah. Now if it's a block, it's a block. A block is a block.
Is Marcia here? Does she notice I'm wearing?
No, but she'll watch the replay.
Oh, okay. See, Marcia, I've got that on. And this is from Judy P.
Did that one come from Judy P. or was it from Lisa?
It might have been Lisa.
I think that's Lisa, because that's more her, you know, gothic goodness.
And Lisa, are you watching? All right, this is what I was doing with the little circles. And now I'm coming in and coloring some of them white.
Hi, Gerald.
And then I'm coming in with colored pencil. But this would be a lovely paper for the book.
It would. You were spending some time on that.
I have, and I love it. Okay, I'm going to not, but I might, because I want to use that one stencil of...
You got 30 minutes.
Becky's. Okay, all right. Mariah's rushing me. All right, I know this has butterflies and it has pink on it, but I think it's starting to get a little bit of a grunge feel to it, so we're really going to go with that.
Hey, quick thought, really, just, popped into my brain. How are you doing with your swaps and whatnot? Are you taking care of business? I don't think that you are, is basically what I'm telling you. And calling you out in public. Publicly shaming her.
I have some piles.
She has some piles she'd like to send people.
I have some piles that I like.
Is that the thing that you worked out? Because now, isn't...
I have it written down in my book.
Susan is one of your swap partners.
Susan Bellew.
Yeah, but is she your figure it out?
No, that's somebody else that we don't know. But
No, that's not true. I'm pretty
her.
sure that we know. We know everybody.
Patty Esterling.
Yeah, that's
Patty
Patty's
here?
Fireflies and Fairy Tales.
Oh, okay, yeah. She's my
Scrap swap.
And then Susan Bellew is to be decided.
Have you decided? Susan?
She said I could just send her anything. She'd be happy.
I think what you should do is send her a pouch.
All right, I could do that.
Look at that, Susan. I worked out a deal for you. I just want you to remember that I did that.
And I even have one pouch that already has some stuff in it. It's
pouch ready.
It's pouch ready.
Good God.
Yeah, okay. Well, you just help me remember, because all I need to do is just put them together.
She's very
This is why I write down the people in my book.
I was thinking about that last night. I'm like, okay, it is April 27th. That was yesterday. Today's the 28th. And this one hasn't said anything about, hey, here's my stuff for my peoples. So, there we go.
Okay, I'm just showing you these so that
just surprise P.
So that you can see that we've got lots of stuff here. And, yeah, I'll just keep this down. See, this is the only, when I'm doing mixing my colors, I have my gel plate up there, and this is the only place that I have to.
Okay.
So I'm going to turn that around. Look at that cute little stamp.
Well, it's behind my head.
Isn't that a cute little stamp?
Slide it to the middle and people, there you go. Look at that.
Hot diggity. Okay. So, rainbow, folks.
This was from the lamp situation.
This is because, yes, these are all the lamp.
We just don't want you thinking that she's got some,
side project. I've gone over to the other side.
The unicorns have converted her.
Alright, so what do we have here? Well, we got this has got some mucky muck on it, but I think it's okay. Look at that. That's so cool.
Yes, underneath. Okay, thank you. That throws me off.
I still have some of that down there, but
yes, the lamp can be seen in the beginning of this here stream with those little butterflies that you see off to the side there, plus those rainbow papers are what created the little butterfly situation.
That's right. Spot on.
Sorry.
All right. So I've got some kind of plain papers here. I've got some kind of busy papers here. I've got some in-between papers here. One side's one color and one side's another color. And you will recognize when I was doing those blocking things, this is how they start off. Okay?
Yes.
All right. Now.
Bye, Nina. Thanks for hanging. And those of you that did come in, do say hello. So we can say hello back. Give those thumbs upsies.
We're going from very geometric to
ooh, and
sort of
yeah. One second, real quick. Teresa Aragona has a awesome. I have not watched the full thing, but patina creating grungy, rusty looking business on the plate. So that's, if y'all haven't watched that, head over watch that. Lots of people have all kinds of things out. It's just so hard to keep up anymore, and I want to figure out a way to, like, if y'all let me know before a stream, I can say, hey, you need to go watch da 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 da.
Yes. All right.
This is one of the new ones that's a pre-release for May, Hippie Dippie from Devin Rex for Art.
And it's Hippie Dippie, so we're just going to go with some Hippie Dippie colors. And the reason I want to do this is because I'm going to make Izzy a series of little pencil holder things, cans for her room.
What are you doing?
And I thought if they were in, you know, rainbow kind of colors that she would really like them. But I'm going to take a gel print and cover just regular, you know, like soup cans.
Yeah, you need to keep them like pastel rainbow, not bright rainbow. I'm just saying.
Oh.
FYI.
Well.
As part of the creative director of the bedroom. AKA Mom. I have a vision. This bedroom is not only her bedroom, it was, you know, she asks me all the time. What do you ask me? What, is your tooth? How much do you love my room? Is this what you wanted when you were a kid? Yes. Is that coming out? Oh, good and gosh. Got another tooth. Poor kid's not going to have. Those other ones need to grow in.
Yeah, she's not going to even have anything to chew with. We're going to have to.
When she has to eat.
We're going to have to pre-fix her food.
Smoothies only.
Just put my spaghetti in the blender.
Put your spaghetti in the blender. That sounds disgusting.
Oh, my gosh. Absolutely disgusting. Oh, that was interesting.
Hey, you
Every now and then,
I
I like to pull out
What
this
is on your face?
already pre-digested paint,
Okay. You can.
pre-packaged paint, because it's just easy, and I don't have to mess with it.
Yeah.
You can feel it just move around.
Okay.
I go like that.
Hey, we have about 20 minutes, and then we'll be getting ready to go to the
I don't know
party.
why that is not. I think that's that one spot that gets missed a lot.
No corn on the cob for this. No. Or we gotta cut it off there and spoon in only, I suppose. Poor kid. The one tooth is coming in, so. These Hippie Dippie ones are so cool. I'm excited to see what Devin does with these.
All right.
I do have a vision.
I'm making things for you, baby.
Oh.
Don't know if this is going to be wet enough to get anything off of it or not.
But yeah, she does need some little pencil cans and who's it, what's it. And then I was looking at things and here's the, it's so easy just to go online and say, all right, I'm just going to buy this thing or whatever. And then I was like, I'm not doing it.
I know. Mariah told me. She said she doesn't need anything else.
She just doesn't.
Everything else needs to be
We use something we have here.
or
Figure it
made.
out. Yes.
Or that Izzy has made. Because, I mean, for heaven's sake, she's certainly capable of.
Yeah, so we hung up. I still don't really love the picture and what. Oh, good golly. Can you give that to me? You got it. If you pull it from the one direction, that's the thing. Is pulling from, actually in a circular motion when you have.
Just keep working around
Yes.
it. Don't yank it. That's when
No.
I broke the one that I broke the other day.
Yeah.
I felt ignorant. Because I know better. But I was hurrying because I wanted to get it down, for this, to use the flip off.
Yeah. Flop off.
Flop off.
We don't want to be flipping people off.
Hey, Isabella, come check it out.
She's in the bedroom.
She went back to her room?
Mm-hmm. She loves being in there. And we love it. That's lovely and awesome. And then what I can do is come back, you could spray it from the backside if you wanted to bring in other colors or just knock back the white a little bit.
Well, I don't know that on this hammer mill, I don't know if you could. I guess if you saturated it enough.
Heck yeah.
it very
But
possibly.
it will alter the acrylic paint even just a little bit,
Yeah.
too. Just, you know, FYI.
All right, well, that was fun. I wanted this particular pattern because I wanted you all to see, you know, what you can do with your different all right, now let's try another, you know, exciting pattern here. Let's use blues. I'm going to try to stay in the you know, okay, so this
Rainbow.
is warm colors.
Rainbow. Roy G. Biv.
Now I'm going to go with the purples, the
I do too. I love orange and pink together.
and the greens. All right.
Now, are you using your big old brayer for
Yep.
your ombre here? I just didn't see it. Because I wanted to point that out, because, you know, it's been a little while since we've talked about ombre, and I know we have a few, at least, new people. If you want, now, there's some people that can pull it off. You can get an ombre even with the smaller brayers. It's trickier. If you want, like, kind of instant success, especially on a larger plate, the bigger brayer's the way to go.
I haven't used this paint for a while, so.
Oh, I love lime green and pink. Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see what happens here.
Oh, yeah, that. Now, remember, you can come back and utilize some of those skinny washi tapes if the break is that kind of a break. Now, if there's a little bit of a tear, and Teresa Aragona, actually, she used the is it E6000? I don't know why I always want to say 6000, but it might be 8. I don't know what the number is. Anyway, that glue, she was able to fix her Dream Big stencil. Super glue works, but if it's a clean, like, rip, taping it. Now you're gonna have those little lines from it, but again, I don't know that may or may not matter to you. Very pretty. Oh, yes, and two small brayers. That's true, because it's just that you want to keep, if you have one small one and you try to cross over too much, you're going to blend it all together. You're trying to kind of keep those color sections, I did remember right, good deal. Those color sections, you want it to mix a little bit, but not totally. Oh, Susan says that she discovered that there is such a thing as glass glue. That will glue glass together.
What is
so
it?
that might work. Have you tried it on the Yupo? I'd like to know. We're always, you know, in search of information on adhering things. Things get sticky. Oh, hi, Barbara.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, you kind of...
Picked up some of the orange, whatever.
Uh-huh.
There's a lot of paint on that. Okay. I
Yeah.
think that's very interesting. I think this is interesting. If I can get a
little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know that Izzy's going to love that, but, you know, whatever. Okay. Keep the white
She's
out
really
here.
pretty easygoing. She hasn't reached that stage yet where, like, you know, she has an exact idea in her mind, which is nice. Now, there's some things, though, that she's like, because she didn't want the lamp in there with that one shade on there.
Yeah.
And I said, well, what about it? What is it about the lamp that you don't really care for? She said, I don't like that brown shade on top, which it was really like craft, kind of yellowy. And we said, oh, well, we can fix that. That's fixable. I was wondering, Eddie.
I don't know. I'm hoping that this, you know, will. I'm going to use my other brayer.
This is one color that you basically making.
I wanted it to be that pretty.
Yeah.
Kind of tealy green. I think that is.
Yeah, it's in the pastel range of things. It's a little deep, but it's okay. It's on the cusp.
Okay, now when you're mixing it like that and you want to make sure that you do have it mixed properly and you don't have big white streaks out there,
They're big
turn
white.
it over to the other side.
They're big white streaks. Also, you want to keep in mind when you do this zigzaggy business with your brayer that
you're gooping up your brayer.
You're gooping up your brayer. You want to clean those sides if you want it to, you know, continue rolling. Tips and tricks, y'all.
Oh, that's better.
Sometimes
I don't know that it's going to get, you know, like FP. But
she does. That is a wonderful way to think about it, Acme. Thank you. Yes.
What is it?
She says Izzy sounds like a good design client with inventive ideas to contribute. She must have a good family. That part we, you know. TBD. Hi, Liz. Whose paint are we using?
We're using Hippie Crafter.
There you go. Forgot about that. Thank you, Gerald. Thanks, guys. Please always.
It's to go with the stencil.
Look at that. Hey, Hippie Crafter. We got Hippie Dippie Stencils.
Hippie Dippie Stencils and Hippie Dippie Crafter paint. I don't know that that's going to be an Izzy one, but and I don't think I'm going to get anything off that. I waited too long.
It's kind of weird and swirly. Or, not swirly, but cloudy.
I can try it, but I don't think I'm going to.
They're great little paints. I mean, very economical. Great pigment quality as far as, you know, a student grade kind of paint. They get the job done.
They do. Oh, I've just got all kinds of stuff happening.
Yeah,
here.
things are happening.
I won't be able to use my stencil.
And Becky says she likes the sheen that the Hippie Crafter
paints.
paints.
Mariah, I'm passing this over to you. I hope that you can get it off there. I do have a backup here.
Something to keep in mind when your stencils are brand new. The Yupo is very sticky, and if you do not get that off of there very quickly, it will adhere to the paper, which we had a little bit of that.
Well, I think that looks cool.
That's very cool.
And we've got a little bit of our teal color left out there.
Oh, man, and I just...
Did you tear it?
I did. That was my fault. I got rough. Ripping the paper.
Well,
Here, I'm
the
gonna fix...
thing about it is when you're trying to hurry and get it off there because it's sticking to the dead gum.
Yes. The very first uses of it
are crucial.
But these are almost the perfect width to be able to use this really skinny washi. So, there. I repaired it. Don't gripe about it.
Gracias.
and Teresa, you should reach out to them. Go to their website because with you being a content creator, they may give you a hookup. Send you some free stuff. Because they have a really cool little program.
I want to leave this kind of blotchy and messy and really see.
Yeah, I like that. It kind of works with the style of what you're going for.
Yes, I'm thinking so.
Mm-hmm.
I'll show
I like
you
that.
more of that.
Now the red, I don't know about that. Bye, Kathy. Thank you. Ooh. See, now that's... Hey, and Carrie, look. Pink and turquoisey, teal.
Now, even though these don't look like, you know, something really special right now, you just have to think about what's going to happen down the road. I'm not using those because I really like those just like they are. I'll use some of Izzy's Hippie Dippie colors here.
See, that one, that's too much like, you know, true rainbow.
More or less.
Yeah.
More or less.
We're
gonna go for it. Okay. And then I've got this one.
Hi, Sherry.
This is a messy rainbow, so I won't mind if I mess it up. All right, let's see what we can do with those. Okay, we got to get a new paper here because once it starts building up a lot around the edge and it's wet paint, it's not going to pull it. So I just pitch it down on the floor here. And I've got another one here that, you know.
You got 7 minutes.
I've got 7 minutes. Well, I think I've accomplished everything I could possibly want to accomplish, except I am going to do one more thing here.
Did you show the other one? The other Hippie Dippie stencil?
Oh, I didn't. Maybe I should use that one.
Maybe. There's 2. I think you kind of showed it, but like you haven't used it.
Yeah, I did. But I mean, I didn't
Yeah.
talk about the differences. The differences are that this is a little bit more, well, let me just show you. Okay, you see that, and then you can see this.
Tracy, you're so sweet.
Okay, let's just go ahead and use this one, since I've got it out.
Which one? Which rainbowy one? Are you talking about like the ones with the... Just let me know which one, Tracy, and I'll see what I can, you know. Yeah.
Wow, I don't even know what's going on with my screen.
Yeah, something weird.
Well, it's showing me measuring with SpongeBob. So I guess it's like really...
Yeah, you were way behind.
I'm way behind. Okay, I think I'm caught up. I see this.
Yeah.
Oh, no, we're not caught up. What is this? I don't know what I
was
would
gonna
need
say,
to worry
I
about that. I
don't-
mean, you know.
You just shut her down and...
Shut her down. Okay.
This is the other Hippie
Now,
Dippie.
I'm just telling you, this one is another one that you want to coax it off of there. You don't want to be yanking on it, because you start yanking on it, you're going to have
Problemos.
you're going to have some problems. And the reason I had to pull that up is because I had the wrong side down. When you are first using your stencil, that's really important. That's when you get, I want to get some really crisp lines on this, and I'm going to get my papers lined up here, ready to go. So I've got my brayer off. I've got my paper that I want to flip down here to put my flip off on. And then I've got my pickup paper here. So do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How you need to be organized. We're going to go to...
You don't hear that often here. But
we're going to go to Bone Black. Is it Bone Black? No, I need Carbon Black. Where's my Carbon Black? There it is. Of course, on the bottom of the pile. And I want to talk about that so I can get that the hell out of here. And stop having to shuffle around. Okay, see that? That's tape. But isn't it beautiful?
Hold it up into the camera.
Those are all the colors that I absolutely love.
Pea on a roll.
Pea on a teepee roll. Okay. Make sure that this poor brayer, I'm going to have to do something with it at this point.
Yeah.
I've got green goo.
Yeah. Oh, there's a chunk. I see something from here. There's a chunk in there. Like, gooped up.
It'll be all right, Mariah.
Okay.
All right, Bone Black. And we get to try. Oh, here's my other stencil. Stand.
How do you know which side goes down on the plate? So there's a little...
It's a lip around each one of those cut. And when you put your finger on it, if you close your eyes, you can feel it. Now, after you get 3 or 4 things of paint on it, you're not going to be able to. But when you first do it...
So it does... The side that you feel is up. Correct? Yes.
No, you want the edges down. See, it's cupping around. It's sucking down onto the plate. You got to visualize that. You want the sucker side down. Now, come on.
I still don't know that clarifies things. It certainly doesn't for me. I know that there is a difference, and I can feel the difference. I just don't know that you are right about what you're saying.
Well, of course I am. I don't know why you'd even think otherwise. I'm trying to make better marks on my clean off over here so that when I come in and use them.
Yeah.
And especially you'll have this luxury because when I'm doing the
this is open.
I got some time to do some cool stuff here.
Yeah, I'm still going to cut you off at, you got 2 minutes, and I'm going to say goodbye because we got things to do. Gotta go to this birthday party.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Giving the rainbow a little bit of drama.
She does have certain little black accents in the room. It's very girly, but there are some, and one of her drawings is.
And her frames.
Yes.
See, you've got to make sure that you do your brayer off real cool too. You don't want to just get it in one spot.
Bye, Cheryl. Thanks for hanging.
Hey, Carol, you'll be sorry. Cheryl, you'll be sorry you left. But, you just do what you got to do.
I think Cheryl believed me that I was just going to cut you off.
Oh, I just broke it.
We knew this was going to be a squirrely one. Now, the thing is it is what it is. You just got to know that that's this type of stencil. And to be honest, when you're laying it down like that, even if it is broken, It is not the end of the world.
It isn't going to be a big deal. Now, if you're rubbing on it.
Yeah. And the lovely thing about the open paint is that it's not super sticky.
Okay, I can't.
That's fabulous.
I can't show you that right now because I've got some others that I've got to get down here. And the thing about it is,
I tell you what, y'all. Stay tuned. We will show you those in the next stream. The next stream will be, well, tomorrow's me. But yeah, I might show them. You never know. All right, guys. Thanks so much for hanging out. We very much appreciate it. We shall see you back here tomorrow. Bye.
bye.